Hello, I'm Mike Fonseca, president of the First Flight Society in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. We've been around since 1927, and our purpose was to get a memorial built to the Wright Brothers. 1928 was coming up. It's going to be 25 years since that first flight, and a number of businessmen decided, hey, wouldn't it be great to put up a monument and get more people to come down to the Outer Banks? It actually ended up doing a number of things, including, back at that time there was no bridge over to the Outer Banks. You had to take a boat. That's what the Wright Brothers did. They actually had to take a boat from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and it was quite a journey. So along the way they actually built a bridge, and now everybody knows the Outer Banks as this great tourist spot. But back in 1903 it was a lot of sand, a lot of fishermen, and some Coast Guard, well, what would become the Coast Guard life-saving station. So the monument was started in 1928. Actually, December 17th of that year, Orville Wright actually came. They laid the cornerstone, and the NAA basically gave us a boulder that's still there that marks where the first flight started. That's still there. You can see it when you go to the park. The monument was completed in 1932 and was dedicated in November of 1932. I've read stories of it was, even at that time, it was quite the journey to get to this celebration. We've been putting on a celebration since 1928, basically. The monument's been there since 1932. After it was built, it was turned over to the National Park Service. Land had been donated by local businessmen. The park has grown over the years. Back in the 1960s, I believe it was 1966, they opened the visitor center that's still there. The visitor center went through a big renovation recently. They cannot change the outside in any way because it has been declared a historical landmark. So the inside, though, is completely different. It's entered the 21st century and is really interactive and a great place to come and visit when you come to the park. But what's great is at Wright Brothers, you can climb the hill up to the monument, beautiful view. You can see where the first flight was and actually follow the first flights, and there are markers for each one. And then of course there's a visitor center where you can learn and look at artifacts. So in 1966, we started inducting people into the Paul Garber Shrine that is actually located inside the visitor center. It used to be a group of paintings. Now we have our own little spot that has got a video wall plus the very latest painting. Currently, if you go, you'll see a painting of Sally Ride, who was our last honoree. Our next honoree this December will be General Benjamin O. Davis, who was commander of the Tuskegee Airmen. Yeah, First Flight Society is well known for our December 17th celebrations, what we call Wright Brothers Day. But we've expanded. We now do a National Aviation Day, which was actually started on Orville Wright's birthday, so it's every August 19th. We now do our celebration out at the Dare County Regional Airport in Manteo. It is an exhibition of a number of aviation organizations, local organizations, as well as showing off some warbirds. Typically we get a warbird, at least one warbird from the Military Aviation Museum in Virginia Beach. We do rides with the Commemorative Air Force. There's things for kids to do. There's food. It's a good time out on the Outer Banks. We also are expanding a little bit into Wilbur's birthday, because he kind of gets left behind, and that's in April, and we're still expanding on what we're going to do to celebrate that. First Flight Society can be found all over the internet. We've got a number of web pages, including www.firstflight.org. We have specific web pages for National Aviation Day that's coming up, so that would be nationalaviationday.org. And for December 17th is wrightbrothersday.org, so you get specific information at those websites. We're on all social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, you name it. we are currently running a sweepstakes, which is our big fundraising campaign for the year. We're giving away a 2022 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. It's got a Hemi engine in it. So tickets start at $25. And if you don't win, at least you've made a donation to the First Flight Society.
How do people enter in this website?
You can enter through our website, through our social media. There are links that'll take you directly instead of me giving you the long URL for that campaign.